The X38 is the latest high-octane curved display from Predator. This zero-frame behemoth has a 37.5-inch span and a 2300R curve in glorious 21:9, so that you can fill your peripheral vision with pure gameplay for all-out immersion. And with a very ergonomical stand, positioning this colossal display is quite easy, allowing you to tilt, pivot, swivel, and adjust the height as needed, so that comfort is maintained even through long gaming sessions. Naturally, you have all the latest ports needed, as well as two powerful 7-watt speakers should a headset not suffice. Though the X38 is ideal for hardcore enthusiasts and esports pros alike, what sets it apart, besides a crisp, ultra-wide QHD Plus resolution, is the agile Splendor IPS panel it uses. This panel makes it possible to push the response time up to 0.3 milliseconds, while maintaining a color gamut of DCI-P3 98% and Delta E less than 2, so that colors and details remain vivid. Add on the 175Hz refresh rate and you have a blisteringly fast monitor that keeps all the fast-paced action coming through nice and smooth with almost no ghosting, color bending, or torn frames. To make sure those frames look as pristine as possible, NVIDIA G-Sync keeps frame rate locked to the output of your GPU, while Display HDR 400 certification allows you to enjoy HDR content in or outside of gaming. So if you're looking to go all out, it's time to introduce the monumental X38 to your game setup.
Linggo na at alam niyong ibig sabihin nun mga Predator Warriors, it is time sa VALORANT phase ng Predator Esports Circuit 2024. Ako nga pala si Ramon, kasama ko si Mochi. We'll be casting the whole day for the second week of qualifiers dito sa PEC. Mochi, kamusta ka? Kasi mukhang ang daming mangyayari ngayon. New patch, Haven is back, ISO and Neon are back in the meta.
Ang daing nangyari and ang daing mangyayari. There's tons of storms happening right now, most specifically sa mga duelist users natin. And I'm really, really certain that it's just gonna be wild. Might be, something na they just keep on adding gas dun sa fire na existing ngayon, specifically on how OP these duelists are right now. And lalong-lalo na that Haven is already here. Oh my, medyo nakakatakot mag-compe. Sa totoo lang, kasi di mo malaman kung mag-rank up ka ba o mag-rank down ka. Most specifically, it all depends kung sino ang inyong ginagamit ng mga agents and paano yung may utilize. And even sa lores, di ba? Like, ang daing mga ma-unlock na additional storylines sa existing ngayon for Valorant. So I'm pretty excited and lalo-lalo na sa mga teams na maglalaban ngayon.
Tama, new tools para sa mga newcomers natin at sa mga pamilyar sa game ng Haven as a whole mga kaibigan. Pero bago tayo dumalo sa pinaka-lion share na mangyayari ngayong broadcast, pag-usapan muna natin ang Games and Amusement Board. They have authorized us to officiate yung Predator Esports Circuit 2024 as an official tournament registered under the approval of the GAB in the Philippines. So thank you so much Games and Amusement Board for letting us have a chance para ma-showcase ang talento ng mga local players natin in the Valorant scene. And well, it's a good opportunity as any para malaman kung sino ang magre-represent sa Pilipinas dito sa ating Philippine Qualifiers for Predator League later on in the year. But before anything else mga kaibigan, kung new viewer ka o kaya isa ka sa mga fans na mga nanonood lang ng mga Predator League qualifiers natin, meron kaming nahanda na video para malaman nyo kung ano yung format ng ating susunod na tournament. That's right, Predator Warriors. We're running it back with multiple attempts para makapasok kayo sa main stage ng Predator Esports Circuit. And this is week number 2, baby. So yung mga natalo ng week 1, eto na ang redemption arc nila. Starting with trying to register over at the Predator XP Hub kung saan dito nangyayari para sa mga members natin on the official community hub of Predator Gaming Philippines. Engage kayo sa mga iba't ibang server activities. Mag-earn na kayo ng points. Ascend the leaderboards dahil narinig namin na may mga exclusive rewards sa lahat ng mga nag-participate sa mga activities natin over at the XP Hub.
And also, ang daing activities, ang daing mga exclusives na kayo na possible nyo makuha dito. Once na makapasok kayo sa Discord, malay nyo, meron pa kayong chance na makapunta sa kung saan mang lupalop na usually is pinagnanasaan ng mga, mga pangkaraniwang tao like us. So, of course, ang alam ko natapos din recently ang ating character design contest wherein nanalo as first place itong si CHK, DSK. Second place naman si Sid Ibamit. And third place is Young Prey and Jiva. And all of these are people here from APEC, Indonesia, Thailand, and of course, ang ating lupang sinilangan, the Philippines. Lupang sinilangan! Pero ayun nga, guys, tons of stuff happening here and there. Kaya naman, kung kayo interesado, pumasok na kayo sa Discord natin.
Yeah, at kung isa ka sa mga teams na natalo siguro sa ating qualifier today, well, look no further than next week dahil meron pa kayong chance na sumali sa ating susunod na qualifiers. At para lang malaman nyo kung paano mag-register, mabilis lang yan. I-complete nyo lang yung registration form, mag-await lang kayo ng confirmation via email and join the official Discord server. Nakalagay na yung Discord link sa ating mga social medias, siguro dito sa ating mga captions. We're live already on Facebook, Twitch, as well as YouTube para sa ating susunod na broadcast on the Predator Esports Circuit. So, i-follow nyo lang yung instructions na yun para makasali kayo sa susunod na qualifier. Yun lang naman mga kaibigan. Pag-usapan naman natin kung ano yung motivation for this upcoming tournament dahil hindi lang 100,000 pesos compared sa Predator Kings of PH, Mochi, kundi 200,000. Dumoble ang prize pool natin.
Yeah, grabe, no? And not only that, that just means na meron silang last slot available para dito sa Predator League Philippines natin. So, just in case na makuha nila or makapanalo sila dito, well, definitely, abay, paano ba yan? Makakasali sila sa isa sa mga pinaka-prestigious mga tournament leagues natin dito sa Pilipinas. And all the more merrier na makakakuha sila ng mga experiences. And not only that, even the bragging rights and the lion shares dito sa Predator Gaming.
Tama. At what better way to celebrate yung mga players natin kundi tingnan na ang bracket for today's qualifiers. Ito ang top 8 at ito kung ano yung mga nangyari sa ating online qualifiers so far. So just to give an update mga kaibigan, na default ang isa mga teams natin in the name of Kolokoy, which gives a free entry for Old Stinky Cat, one of the top tier teams in the local scene of Valorant. Top 4, last split 1 ng VCT PH 2024. So lots of expectations on the line for this squad as a whole as they're already in the grand finals of this online qualifier. We're waiting for 5 Monkeys and Carti Esports to come up in the broadcast ngayon kasi yun naman yung susunod na best of 1 natin, Mochi.
Yeah, true. And it seems like there are tons of familiar and unfamiliar players dito sa series na upcoming right now. So I'm quite excited kung ano mahahatid nila dito with all of the given changes, the patches, and all of the creative stuff na maaari nilang maihugot. Mahugot no? Dito sa mga stuff natin. So yeah, really excited, looking forward, and I hope na kung sino man ang tatapat dito sa All Stinky Cat, well, syempre, may palag talaga.
Kung talagang local scene ang pinag-uusapan ay hindi mawawala ang ascent sa map pool natin. Ang Filipino map para sa ating susunod na best of 1. At ang balita ko ay is mga paboritong mapa din to ng Carti Esports. So we're gonna see a lot of comfortability across the board for this squad. Pero sa totoo lang, Mochi, sino ba sa local scene ang hindi komportable sa Ascent? Kasi this has been one of the more popular maps to get picked up, especially in the Predator Esports Circuit. It's been a lot of play and a lot of variation this time around though kasi hindi na yung double ini comp yung nakikita natin ngayon. Now a lot of teams are experimenting with implementing the Clove in the lineup, putting different initiators into the fray as well. Last time that we saw the likes of OSC play this map on Kings of PH, they ran a breach comp with the Clova as their entry duelist. Ito nga ba yung magiging formula for success para sa Carti Esports kasi yung kantong experimentation is a good sign in the short term pero malay mo hindi sila komportable in the long term, di ba?
Yeah, parang pick your own poison na lang kung ano yung masasacrifice nila dito in the name of learning something new, di ba? But at the same time, it is going to be like a privilege din na magkaroon sila ng siguro kaunting suffering, but at the same time pagka meron sila kasing mga nakukuha onto these experiments na ginagawa nila, they can definitely weaponize that pagka nagkaroon sila ng mga kalaban na unfamiliar sila about it. So most specifically onto this one, I'm not quite sure if meron na silang idea about dito kay 5 Monkeys, considering na some of these, ang naaalala ko lang dito si Raya Milan, si Kled 5, but the rest of the people, we are waiting for them to put out their best introduction for us to see in contrary sa Carti Esports.
Well, tapos na ang usapan mga kaibigan dahil agent select na tayo at eto ang sinasabi ko, Mochi. A lot of teams are trying to pick up a lot of different variations of the same composition. Now 5 Monkeys are looking to complement that with not picking up the Omen this time around, but they want to use the aggression within place dito kay Clove na ang masasabi ko lamang can be played as a duelist. We already saw Fall X use this as a way to comfortably take a lot of aggressive spaces as the Clove. Pero in this patch in particular, hindi na siya kasing lakas compared ng dati pero malakas pa rin naman siya. Sa pistol, hindi ka na makakapag-ghost, 2 smokes at 1 pick-me-up. Now, marami ng variation sa pistol round na pwede mong i-pick up. Pwede kang mag-classic, mag-shield, at saka mag-isang pick-me-up kung kailangan mo ng aggressive playstyle, di ba? Or pwede ka rin naman mag-frenzy. Retain the same playstyle, try to play for the aggressive style. Now we're on into the game. Pistol round across the board for 5 monkeys. Aggressive A main take, especially with the paranoia. Clid 5 will take one, and Ryan Milan will start off with a beautiful 2-piece.
Wow, that is quite of a quick execution here for the side of the 5 monkeys, pero mukhang hindi pa sila natatapos dito. Dalawa na lang ang naiihon dito for the side of Qualifiers Esports, pero meron naman sila mapapatumba kahit papano. Though, once again, this is going to be pretty difficult for them to actually come back, lalo-lalo na that they had to come back more into against 4 people na remaining here, the 5 monkeys. Ayun nga lang, unfortunately, mukhang naispatan na siya, and mukhang masya-shock dark pa at 3K from Ryan Milan, and what a good start para sa 5 monkeys.
Yeah, I mean, an aggressive stance on A main, just trying to counter agad yung default because normally teams on attack would play the 2-3 play style doon sa may either extremities on the map. Yun yung iniwan ng party. Iniwan nila yung 3 active players nila to take that lobby space, pero parang na-surprise sila kasi naglagay na nga ng one way yung 5 monkeys over on A main at nag-push pa sila as well. Surprised by the paranoia and the pace set up by the defense, kaya nagkaroon ng easy space ang 5 monkeys. Parang formality na lang na nakapag-push pa rin sila on B, giving up the space again to the attack, but Qualifiers Esports didn't really have the numbers to back up yung kanilang aggressive stance on that B side.
True. And I feel like they're trying to stay true to their name, no? Pero naku, mukhang marami atang sisilip dito at meron siyang mapipitas na isa. Hindi lang isa, dumalawa pa. At mukhang medyo mahihirapan tong isang guy na nagtatago na lamang sa corner because Sarang would be able to take him down. Hindi na alam ni Johnny Boy kung saan siya pupunta dun eh. Pero still someone here in the link area who will be able to take this guy down. But unfortunately though, it's still going to be a close case here para sa 5 monkeys as they secure the second round.
I mean, sa gantong bagay, kailangan kalimutan na lang kung ano yung nangyari on that eco round anyway, so...
Uy, may hugot.
Man peeking dun sa mid. I like the spacing being taken by this Qualifiers Esports side, right? This, just try to throw away this round quickly as possible. May triple peek pa nga para magulat yung kung sino man na nag-hold ng outlaw na yon. Phantom has been performing pretty well on the duelist role so far. And carrying yung outlaw na to means that he has a lot more firepower into the next round compared to if he had the Marshall in play. Pero bayad on the din to ng Qualifiers Esports. All eyes on them. Ball is in their court. A-main being taken slowly. And since Clove yung kalaban nilang controller, wala silang makakalabang paranoia. Walang 5-man blind. We're not counting out this KO, but that is going to be in a lot of trouble. Pushed in by Patrick Watson, and he's been the MVP in VCT Split 2 so far. Delivering on all fronts. Another shot through again because of the Killjoy Molly from Ichi Solo. So all good in the hood for Carty. They start off with a nice execute on A.
Oh my, that's so true, no? Kahit saan mo siya ilapag, you can expect him to perform so well. Just like that, getting the 3K already onto this one, pero he's not stopping even. Zeta na lang na iwan here. And we all know he's one of the really good sentinels that we have so far. It's a PEC, and he has to gun them down, unfortunately, despite of the discrepancy in terms of numbers and the time as well. I feel like mahihirapan na siya mag-diffuse onto this one, though at least meron sila nakuha na 3 members from the side of Predator Esports. It's just unfortunate nga, but still bonus naman yun. So, you know, just weigh out the pros and cons. So kahit papano is nakapalag naman sila.
At least nakapag-adjust na sila ng stat, diba? Go back to the basics. Okay, may damage pa nga kay Zeta, so the fact that he keeps the Odin and the fact that it was also a bonus round for 5 monkeys is well true to their cause, making the expensive buy round for Qualifiers Esports next time. Pero sinasabi ko na ulit, may konting adjustment na yung kanilang execute. Ngayon, hindi na sila magdi-default. Nag 5-man push na sila since buy round na din naman na ito. But the fact na take away yung majority ng guns sila means that it's gonna be a bit of a struggle into the next round in terms of firepower. So I'm gonna be taking a look at how they perform into this one kasi Carty, they put all their eggs in one basket sa round na to, investing all the money, all the rifles in the world para ma-match up yung tempo na nilalabas ng 5 monkeys. Aggressive setups on A main, tapos meron pang Napakagandang retake scenarios. Odin spam out from Raya. May labanting Guardian tong si Ichi Solo. So may konting damage kay Raya. And they still can deal with that damage since Ascent is a map where ang daming mga wall bangs. So yung mga high penetrative guns, malaking value talaga when it comes to damage.
Gusto ko rin yung mindset ni Ichi Solo din. Kung mangwawalbang ka, mangwawalbang din ako. O diba, landali ka usap. And you can see that Ryan Milan just have 1/4 of his HP left, no, in order to pursue dito sa whole duration ng ating round. Though there are no commitments as of the moment, but we are certain that they really want to go for the advantage or the first blood kill in this round. Phantom, he's really trying to get the angles, but unfortunately though, it's not gonna work out for them or neither of them. Zeta though will try to make up for what's lost. Pero unfortunately, is si Carti Esports pa rin na magkakaroon ng lamang. Medyo low na si Johnny Boy pero kakalag pa rin yan. And he'll be able to get Lid 5 in the process as well. Pero si Sarang na lang na iwan. Unfortunately though, the 1v3, may mga low naman. So possibly na meron pa siyang mapitas dito. Though, alam na kung nasaan siya.
Yeah, CT position, paranoia invested. That's the best case scenario for him. So wala masyadong util, wala ring shock dart. 5 seconds on the recon para kay Uyen at nagpo-force pa nga siya ng lane push where Uyen's using yung angle na na-set up niya agad over at that lane position. So, Party Esports were banking on the idea that their buy round, there could be everything for them and that nets them a ton of value into the next round kasi now they equalize against the defense. Being set up by 5 monkeys now and it's already from that mid setup where you're gonna see a lot of this when it comes to the Ascent map where a lot of teams will not really favor yung mga extremity pushes thanks again to the high value, high penetrative guns na nilalabas na agad ni Raya. Well, now he doesn't have the Odin anymore. He has a judge in his hand. They leave all their trust on Ichi Solo to hold down the flank. And they have another active setup on A, so Clit a lot of trouble. Doesn't need to commit to the fight. Kaya all he needs to do is pressurize yung A main position. Make them think twice about taking this extremity. Lalo na since may flashes siya at meron siyang saranghe na tutulong sa kanyang ma-pressurize yung side na yun.
With the power of love and friendship nga daw, sabi nila dito. But unfortunately though, it seems like they're trying to make as much as noise possible dito sa A site natin. Though, I'm not quite sure kung dito nga ba sila magko-commit because they still have a lot of time to contemplate, to be honest. Though, mukhang magkakaroon din tayo ng magandang dito kay Raya Milan. Though, we are still waiting for them to advance forward just in case na magkakitaan sila dito. That's going to be, might be an info or might be a casualty. In this case, it's going to be info. Be forced to back out. And they're just playing on the default, on a stronghold dito for the side of Carti Esports. And we are yet to see any casualties possible from both sides.
Oh, he can dodge away from that dart. Doesn't actually use it down. Astro gets surprised. Double kill and another from Patrick Watson. The thing about Carti Esports is that they're well aware about new movements from 5 monkeys. They find the judge doon sa may A. They neutralize the threat doon sa loob ng site itself. And they're able to bounce around every single part of the map right after the info. So, iwan na lang si Ichi Solo to lurk around the shadows. As they got a 4 versus 2 for Carti Esports. The execute is on point. A second frag from Patrick Watson as well. While even though Ichi Solo gets caught with his pants down, it doesn't really matter. Kasi nandito na yung 3K ni Patrick Watson, yung 3rd round win ng Carti Esports. Good news on top of good news. Nag-build up na yung economy at yung confidence ni Patrick Watson has been found on the server.
You know what this dude is just continuously eradicating every single person who makita niya, even just, you know, talagang popping up lang into certain areas na hindi man ina-expect dito ng 5 Monkeys members. And I feel like there is just unfortunate na lagi sila natatimingan or like there's some sort of lack of info kung nasaan si Patrick Watson maglalagay. Pero that's Patrick Watson eh. Hindi siya magiging Patrick Watson kung wala yung ganoong demeanor. But right now, we're seeing some people here sa ating tree area just trying to establish their presence onto this one. Unfortunately though, some casualties are happening right now from mid area. And not only that, they've been able to make their way here onto our B site. While the rest of the members here for the side of 5 Monkeys are quite hesitant kung saan sila pupunta, kung paano sila magre-retake.
Nasa kanila yung B pero They don't have the spike with them. If they can catch up to the Astro, then that is a bad case for them. Nag-push si Oyen dun sa market. They have B site on full lockdown, pero dun problem, wala sa kanilang spike. Solo can pick it back up since nakuha nila si Clid. Na-take care nila yung Clove problem. But they haven't found out about Phantom and his position. His whereabouts have been unknown from the start of the round. The operator has sounded off dun sa mid, so they can just ignore that fact, claim B site for themselves. No problem whatsoever now kasi Carti has adapted to the situation. At yun yung parang isa mga problema na nakikita ko eh. Parang noong una, tinitingnan nila kung ipupush pa ba nila yung mid control, i-commit pa ba nila yung kanilang forces all the way from that B site. Hindi nila mahanap yung operator, hindi nila mahanap kung sino yung nag-hold doon sa may pizza control. Once they took care of those players and once they found out where the Clove is, doon pa lang magkakaroon ng 100% confirmation. Sige, bina tayo.
Yeah, parang nagkakaroon, I cannot say it's like some sort of hesitation, but it's more like masyado silang naka-caught up. Yeah. Masyado silang naka-caught up. Meron silang lack of info din, present sa kung ano yung susunod or what's the next step for them to do. And kamuntikan pa nga sila na maano dito, no, madisgrasya nung hindi nila nakuha yung spike natin. And Phantom though, he was secure pa na kill for himself, which is, you know, somewhat of a good thing. Parang nadagdagan ng kanyang creds. And malay mo, may madropan pa siya in the process. But that is actually a shaky round for the side of Predator Esports. It's just nice that they somehow still made it work.
I'd say stop the bleeding for now, no? Parang made the most out of a bad situation. I think the thing that they could have actually tried to work out through is yung coordination sa kung saan nila lalagay yung objective. But they were able to adapt through since nahanap na din naman na itong si Sarang who was pushing up on that mid-link position. That was the biggest threat for them, hindi si Clid. Even though they took down the spike, it can be recoverable. Patrick Watson though, he does not hesitate. Kaso kailangan niya dahil nandito pa rin si Sarang. Clid with another stinger buy. And a second frag for him. Uyen will bounce back through. At yung KO ay pwedeng ma-rebounce itong si Channy Boy who gets revived back to life thanks to Uyen and his support. 3v4 in a blink of an eye. The entry from Patrick Watson has been felt despite nang mamatay very early on, which forced the retake scenario for 5 Monkeys, and they're split up again.
This is actually a good scenario here for 5 Monkeys, really capitalizing on the stinger that they have regardless of the Nico round that they also have. Ngayon, we are about to see kung magmamaterialize ba ang lockdown na kanilang nilapag dito because Phantom, kung hindi sila aware na nandito ito, yun nga lang though. Seems like they've been able to stop them in their tracks and eliminate them one by one. Lamang pa rin ang Predator Esports dito.
Yeah, yun talaga yung difference eh. Kapag ka-decisive na yung execute sila dito, may effect. Yung 5-man rushes across one side of the map, not needing to overcomplicate things, not needing to take full control of their destiny to the other teams who are finding a lot of like random pickoffs. Ngayon, cohesive as a unit na yung Predator Esports. Nagpapush si Patrick Watson with no hesitation anymore. And despite like the huge gap of trading from them, his spacing is good in a way na pwede siyang masamahan ng kahit sino kahit nag-jet dash siya agad. So that decisiveness as a team is noted from Carti, which nets them 5-round wins. And back into the 1-3-1 setup where they're locking down both extremities of the map where they leave the 3 active players to possibly take up that market space. Pero gusto ko yung setup ng 5 Monkeys. They go back to aggressively taking both spaces of the map, at even though gumamit na ng flash yung KO at nakapag-push up yung dalawa dun sa B main, eh baka ma-lock up na itong si Ichi Solo. They find him, na-flash agad. Watson's already inside of the site. They lock away si Zayt at si Phantom, which means it's an open B site plan for the Predator Esports.
Oh my, this is such a great hurdle for them to take though. How can they fortify the site against the unstoppable force that is Patrick Watson? Because right now, they just continue rummaging through dito sa mga spaces na hindi nako-cover nitong side ng 5 Monkeys. And at the current time, Predator Esports has been able to get the job done. Kung important here for the side of 5 Monkeys, paano nga ba nila madadabang mapoprotektahan yung mga site na ito? Kasi, nako, it's just really a lost cause once na magkaroon ng magandang posisyon itong si Patrick Watson. He continuously eliminate the members here and minsan hindi pa nga sila nabibigyan ng tsansa na makapag-trade.
Hindi talaga. I mean, the pace and the tempo that Patrick Watson has been setting up for the team has been impeccable kasi yung B-main push talagang yun yung magandang counter para malabanan yung split. Kaso Patrick Watson always on an island, always in a position to take control of that space. Paranoia out and the denial of the util definitely not in favor. 5 monkeys and how they're able to control that lobby control. So Carti Esports back on the position where they have to default yet again. And they leave all their trust on Zeta to hold the line with one shot to the dome. A second from Zeta. The young Sentinel player has held the fort. And he has been holding it for so long that the molly is the only thing that can kill him.
But at least he managed to get a couple of kills before letting them in. To be honest, it's still a job well done. Or, valiant effort. At the current time though, 5 monkeys, naman naman sila dito in terms of the numbers. But the thing here is, pagdating ba sa execution, are they coordinated enough? Because Ichi Solo, gandang kanyang positioning dito. Meron siyang takedown and baka masusundan pa, masusuportahan pa ng mga miyembro nila dito. And just like that, it's going to be the round being ended. They just continue to land the shots. Minsan nga, yung mga pre-fires lang nila, sold na no? For the side of Park Esports. And it's just good though, para dito kay Zeta, at least from the first few stages or the first few moments dito sa round natin, kahit papano is nagkaroon siya or na-narrow down niya yung numbers dito for the side of Carti Esports just by using the Sheriff alone.
And normally in this sort of situations, we try to praise that they're able to make or give some damage, especially on an eco round. But they're already down 5 rounds in a row. Yeah. So I think the only thing that they need is to hope that their momentum is on a high. Patrick Watson confidently pushing it. But conviction, Sarang already on the cross. 2 kills, make it 3 para sa 5 monkeys. Oh my, the Odin, the only sounding hope that they have para sa round. And Astro with his positioning is well fully on the open. Phantom and Ryan Milan are able to hold off the situation. But my oh my, that clove on market has been a huge threat from that execute. The only time that Patrick Watson has pushed in without that sound utility has been dealt with.
Na mali ng pwesto, pre. Yung crosser dito, akala niya na secure na Angel, but guess what? Jokes on you, hindi pa pala. And at least that's gonna prolong the lifeline dito on the end of our members from 5 monkeys, though ang dai pa nilang kakainin na bigas onto this one despite of the heavy weaponry na meron sila ngayon until when nila ma-maintain ito. And even the economy na medyo naghihingalo, pero mukhang si Patrick Watson makakapasok na dito sa A-site natin at mukhang tuloy-tuloy lang din, sama-sama silang pupunta dito, walang iwanan, pero yun nga lang, ang dai na lang nilang damage na ma-accumulate in the process.
Buti na lang nakapag-post-plan situation na din. B-main on control by the Killjoy. Hunter's Fury invested, but Clint and Phantom, they have put away into the site. Another from the operator as Ichi solos the resounding hope yet again. 2 versus 2. And they also go back to their mid control where 2 players have been detained from the lockdown. Kaso nag-overpush. They need to go back to their positions because now they give them the space up para kay Sarang at para kay Phantom where they use the Odin. A triple for Ichi Solo. He's still sounding off with that Odin where they need to capitalize against the operator. And he decides to save it up dahil sa firepower ng Carti. Well played for their execute thanks to the lockdown and thanks to the Odin. An 8th round for Carti Esports.
I mean, not gonna lie, I feel like there are some certain aspects and situations na medyo nahihirapan sila na gumalaw because of the operator na hawak din dito ni Phantom. Most especially na minsan or most of the time is hindi sila pumupunta dun sa site kung nasan si Phantom. Like, it's pretty similar to the situation of setting up in a specific site as a cipher and wala namang nag-entry. So it's quite unfortunate here for the side of 5 monkeys because all that preparation leads to nothing. But right now, it is a 3-8. Hopefully, maka 4-8 sa swap. So kahit papano is mas kakaunti yung mga rounds na kailangan nilang bawiin dito. Pero mukhang maganda ang magiging simula dito for kay Phantom. Kung sakali naman ang push sila dito.
Never mind. From the other jet though, making his noise, making his presence. Chani Boy and Uyan are putting their own names on the kill feed. So you know that it's all good in the hood for Carti Esports. Kapag yung nag-iisa mong jet player ang naghaharap ng picks across the map, Sarang, good positioning, gets himself the frag over Patrick Watson. 2v4 retake scenario. required option para sa 5 monkeys. Kaso Itchy Solo and Chani Boy are done waiting in the site. They want to take the frags and they have gotten the 3-9 scoreline. First half done, already secured para sa Party Esports yung kanilang lead. At again, it's a hugely good sign na kapag iniwan mo yung nag-iisa mong entry duelist, because that means confident ka na pwede nang pasukan gamit lang ng aim dahil doon sa mga aimers na meron kayo for the side of Party Esports.
Actually, not just the aim, but also the movement, no? It's pretty similar to Battle Royale movement sa sobrang likot nito ni Patrick Watson. Yeah, like kung saan parang sa iba laro yung nakuha yung ganung movement na meron siya, which is definitely an edge in playing a game like Valorant. And that just means na he can, number one, disorient the opposition, and number two, kayang-kaya niya na magkaroon ng mga separated duels from time to time, regardless sa kung ano man yung part ng round na yon siya gagawa. So, right now though, sama-sama sila dito, and they are trying to make their way here onto B site right now, which is hirap din itong mga members natin from the side of the 5 monkeys from doing what they've got to do, kasi lagi silang nahahabol dito ng mga Party Esports, and minsan, sobra-sobra pa. Just as that is happening, Uyen will be able to take down 3 of them in the process.
And in the process as well, you could see that they're thriving in the chaos, because while the execute was happening, while the Molly is also pushed out on that stairs position, Patrick Watson, yung palagi natin pinag-uusapan no? Lagi na lang may confidence decision na kumuha na lang ng dry peak tapos makakuha na lang ng dalawa bago siya mamatay. And that's the thing about being on a duelist, is that he's taking these confident decisions and he's able to convert because of these dry peaks, because of these attempts that he's making. And a duelist on the CT side, where they start on the defense, is definitely a good sign for them moving forward, especially with util usage like this. Uyen just starting with 2 shock dart frags agad papunta dito sa killjoy ng 5 monkeys. Another aggressive rush out for 5 monkeys on the ace side. Astro solo anchoring 1 TP, loses the fight against Phantom. That's an open opportunity, especially with another headshot from Clid. 3v1 with a right click from Patrick Watson. They bounce back despite a really good opening. And Ryan Milan, very late to the cause, will just push into the crosshair of Itchy Solo. 3-11 for Carti, a very dominant Ascent game so far.
They've got eyes all over the map regardless of where they are, and it is pretty obvious that they've got everything in control here. And I love yung trust na meron sila sa isa't isa, that once Patrick Watson gets the spearhead here, automatic susunod lahat. And we have also seen that all of these members here are just stepping up in the occasion whenever the need arises. Kay Uyen, kay Chisolo, kay Chanibin, as well as kay Astro, they've been able to take really crucial parts here from here and there, and even being this aggressive regardless na nasa defending side sila.
That's the thing about being the duelist on the defense, kasi hindi lang naman magiging trabaho mo as a defender na makapag-anchor sa isang side, kasi your util is not really suited for that. Aggressive risk are being taken, and Itchy Solo will punish that. Kay Sarang, mid-take already. Not a possibility for them. Yes, pwede pa rin siya mag-smoke, pero wala sa kanya yung pick-me-up. Clid will be able to bounce back through kay Patrick Watson. He was trying to get the one-tap from that Guardian that he had, but he got punished for it because of Clid and his aim. 4v4, and especially with Ryan moving into the crosshair of Astro. Punished very quickly early on. Clid and Phantom are trying to get through towards that lane position, and they only have one body to take care of. Itchy Solo will bounce back. 3 kills for Itchy Solo, and another for Uyen as well. Party Esports, they adapt, they improvise, and they overcome the odds.
Wow, very VD and VG, diba? Latin quote yan, diba? But yeah, it's just sad. Kasi nakita natin si Clid 5 is he's trying to tinatry niyang halongkatin yung banda niya, yung patrol talaga, and he hasn't been able, or has been able to pull it up the worst time or the late time possible dito. So right now, it is already the match point for the side of Carti Esports, and it is undeniably remarkable in how they've been able to maintain the pace and the consistency that they've had from the first until now. But Still, the aggressive stance is present. They're not stopping and they're not backing down. Phantom though, he'll be able to get someone on the counterpart and he will continuously try to do so hanggang kaya ilalaban nila.
1v2 though, and Clid's the only guy. He gets one, a double. So Astro, right place, right time, secures themselves the final spot dito sa loob ng qualifying stage. Congratulations to Carti Esports, and well, they didn't really break a sweat coming out of that win sa ascent map natin. And unfortunately para sa ating yung kalahok nila, 5 monkeys were able to climb the tree and get themselves the winning banana. You know, for Carti, it's just another day in the office for them. Just very cool, calm, and collected yung apat na players, except for Patrick Watson, who's definitely atat na atat.
The dude's a monster, a beast at that match. It's just crazy how he's been able to like eradicate not one, but two, or even more. This is counterpart nila every single round, guys. And I'm quite curious kung ano yung itsura ng kanyang KDA. But all we know is that he or they, the three of them, no, sila nila Ichi Solo, they've got some of the best stats that we have in this match so far. And it's just crazy how they've been able to put so much trust with each other, regardless of the fact that maybe familiar na sila sa isa't isa. But now it's pretty recent change ito in terms of their roster. They've been able to really execute so well. But on the other hand here for 5 monkeys, this is going to be like a huge learning curve for them. Lalo na they've been able to face up against these types of players. Well, this just means there's much more room for improvement.
Yeah, and malay mo makita din natin sila sa susunod na qualifying stage natin. Dahil natalo ang 5 monkeys, it's not the end of their story because they also have more opportunities to come, especially since the Predator Esports Circuit welcomes a lot of our old comers from the previous qualifiers na lumaban sa susunod na linggo para sa susunod na laban. Pero congratulations para sa Carti Esports, especially sa ating mga standouts. We see Patrick Watson, Ichi Solo actually pulling a lot of the weight, especially on the Sentinel role, and a lot of variety of weapons as well, meaning na napaka-flexible talaga ng mga likes ni Ichi Solo at ni Chani Boy. So well done para dito sa Carti Esports. We'll see them in the last best of 1 of the day. Set na ang Carti Esports versus OSC para sa ating magiging final matchup in today's broadcast. But before anything else, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Predator X34 and X39 gaming monitors, the best monitors on the market. At gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo mga kaibigan na pwede kayo mag-pre-order ng any qualifying Predator monitor at participating stores, as you can also get a free limited edition Predator gaming chair worth 7,999 pesos. So definitely hardly just 8,000 pesos, no? So punta na kayo sa mga participating stores natin, ang Gigahertz, Vilman, Octagon, iTech, Data Blitz at ng Acer online store para makuha ang mga best prices on the market.
Pero pinapamahal mo pa ng piso eh. Pero syempre, hindi gagana ang monitor mo kung wala ang Predator Intel 14th Gen series. Experience the next generation of gaming with AI in the Helios Neo 16. Powered by the latest 14th Gen Intel Core processor, available now sa official Predator concept stores natin and even the authorized sellers near you. Nakakasabi lang ni, dito ba? Ayan, ni Ramon kanina. So, ayan, be sure to check it out because ang daing offers available sa inyo at may bibigay sa inyo ni Predator Gaming.
Yeah. At mga kaibigan, nakaset na ang ating final game for today's qualifiers. It's gonna be one hell of a matchup kasi may mga animals tayo for this qualifying stage alone. We have Old Stinky Cat versus Carti Esports. We'll be right back after the short break. Magbabalik ang Predator Esports Circuit.
The X38 is the latest high-octane curved display from Predator. This zero-frame behemoth has a 37.5-inch span and a 2300R curve in glorious 21:9, so that you can fill your peripheral vision with pure gameplay for all-out immersion. And with a very ergonomical stand, positioning this colossal display is quite easy, allowing you to tilt, pivot, swivel, and adjust the height as needed, so that comfort is maintained even through long gaming sessions. Naturally, you have all the latest ports needed, as well as two powerful 7-watt speakers should a headset not suffice. Though the X38 is ideal for hardcore enthusiasts and esports pros alike, what sets it apart, besides a crisp, ultra-wide QHD Plus resolution, is the Agile Splendor IPS panel it uses. This panel makes it possible to push the response time up to 0.3 milliseconds while maintaining a color gamut of DCI-P3 98% and Delta E less than 2, so that colors and details remain vivid. Add on the 175Hz refresh rate and you have a blisteringly fast monitor that keeps all the fast-paced action coming through nice and smooth with almost no ghosting, color bending, or torn frames. To make sure those frames look as pristine as possible, NVIDIA G-Sync keeps frame rate locked to the output of your GPU, while Display HDR 400 certification allows you to enjoy HDR content in or outside of gaming. So if you're looking to go all out, it's time to introduce the monumental X38 to your game setup.
Welcome back mga kaibigan sa Predator Esports Circuit. We have been casting the whole qualifier for the second week. And the Predator Esports Circuit, man, has been a home for very, very nice VALORANT competition. Ako para Sir Ramon, sama ko si Mochi. It has been a blast casting the last Ascent game. And what do you know? This next one is gonna be a banger. Kasi kapag nanalo ang kahit sinong team dito, ay makakapasok sila sa playoffs ng Predator Esports Circuit, a chance para makapasok sa main event at a chance for 60,000 pesos down the line.
Yeah, which is pretty big, if I may say, or as we may say, and I feel like that's pretty obvious then, right from the get-go. And kanina nakita din natin kung paano ang nangyari sa laban ng Carti Esports and as well as Five Monkeys. All the while, Olsink has been waiting for them to reach this point. And I am really excited kung ano nga bang mangyayari dito. Gusto mo ba ng fun fact, Ramon?
Okay. Go ahead.
Ang fun fact natin for today is, alam nyo ba na ang meaning ng Carti Esports in Armenian is actually book. So, does it mean that they play by the book? Kasi kung sa kanina, kinompare natin sa kung ano ang kanilang ginawa dun sa match na yon is parang hindi ganun eh. Like, they continuously innovate kung paano nila magagawa yung mga executes nila. And all the while, they did it so well. And if I may say, even flawless.
I mean, by the book yung team composition, but the way they executed it's definitely out of the book talaga. Ay talaga makikita natin na talagang confident yung mga aimers natin from the side of Carti Esports. Their duelist has been on the roll so far with how he has been entering. So Patrick Watson is a really good player that has been picked up by Carti. Pero para sa kanilang kalaban ay, they're no slouches either, because when it comes to aim duels, well, Old Stinky Cat has been known to be one of the top tier teams when it comes to confident aim duels and very well executed plans. Ang problema nga lang is this is their second attempt at trying to take control of their own destiny papasok dito sa ating playoffs. So this is their second attempt. If they're not gonna be able to bounce back, syempre meron pa rin qualifying stage sa susunod na linggo. Pero I'm wondering kung ano yung magiging mentality this time for Old Stinky Cat, because now they're looking to bounce back after the loss in the last week.
Yeah, that is so true. And most especially that they somewhat have like some sort of rest kanina. Well, they're just waiting for Carti Esports and the Five Monkeys na tapatan na matapos. Well, guess what? Ascent na naman
Mm.
ang mapa natin.
I mean, another day, another Ascent game. Sinasabi ko sa'yo, Mochi, Huy! Huy!
Ay!
Gumising ka! Huy,
Ay!
magkakas pa tayo!
Oo
Alam
nga,
ko,
may
Ascent na
nagkakas
naman. Pre, nagkakas tayo. We're on the job,
Bro,
bro. Bro,
bro, lagi lang
sinasabi,
Ascent yung mapa, bro. Pwede bang pakiban, bro?
pwede ba? Hindi, kasi isipin mo to a lot of teams are comfortable on the map anyway, so why not just go with your comfort picks, right?
Sabagay. I mean, sabagay, we've also been continuously discussing about regardless of Ascent being like the mapa ng Pinoy, mapa ng kahit sino actually at this point, no? There's still tons of ways for them to figure out what's going to be the next best play na hindi pa maaaring nakikita na ibang mga tao or just stick into whatever works tulad nga ni Killjoy.
Yeah, I mean, di lang naman Killjoy yung pwede nating makita. Pwede din namang Sova isama na lang agad sa KO. Kasi the reason why this is a quintessential na team composition kasi it offers you a lot of balance in terms of what you can offer to the table. Killjoy for that stability, and the util dump by both Sova and the KO provides a lot of that aggressive space making that the Jet will be able to use on this map alone. So yun yung reason kung bakit makikita natin yun possibly for the sort of Carti, since yun yung ginamit nilang team composition against Five Monkeys in the previous game.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to put a big question mark para sa OSC around team compositions kasi they've been experimenting ever since yung bagong
True.
season lumabas, yung patches natin nag-iiba at yung meta talagang constantly evolving when it comes to what these high tier teams can pick up on the table, right? Kasi hindi lang naman Jet yung nag-iisang duelist. We have been seeing a lot of play around Clove being played as a duelist pero controller siya. Remember that, mga kaibigan. The last time that we've seen OSC play yung Clove composition is on the Ascent map. Definitely unprecedented since ginamit ni Folex yun as the entry duelist, but he has been fragging out ever so slightly noon sa ating first qualifier pa lang. Ngayon, it doesn't really work out as well since na-nerf na nga yung pistol round niya. And the last time that we've seen them play on the Ascent map, they had a bit of a shaky start, especially with Safe in the roster. Now they have the constant 5. Nandito na si Dizzy, so they're coming in very comfortable where they are right now.
And so true. It's already up to them if they will stick doon sa what's ever proven or will it be something that's never been seen before. Well, guess what? We can see it right here, right now. Mukhang we have one for each. Cardi Esports will be sticking to what we currently have at kung ano ang kanilang nilaro kanina. And on the other hand, all Stinky Cat, very similar to what Ramon said, it is all up for grabs kung ano man ang bago nilang ibabato. And they have the Clove, the Breach, and even the Viper and Sky. Like, this is pretty new for us to see. No duelist lineup. And I guess, regardless, parang magiging all-out offense dito ang All Stinky Cat.
Full util dump at full all-out aggression despite having no duelist in the lineup. Folex has been known to pick up the Jet and the Reyna for throughout his career. Now, he is putting up a brand new flavor sa ating magiging dish na sinaserve up ng Old Stinky Cat ngayon. They have been playing this composition throughout their run dito sa qualifying stage and, well, it had mixed results. Now they start on the attack where they have a very strong cohesion on what they want to do. It's early, mid, trying to play the passive game. Let Patrick Watson make the mistake for himself around that mid side. They're also playing around the tempo since nalagay na nga yung early one-way on that A-main position, meaning that they can't push too far.
That is so true. And not only that, I feel like that's gonna give already an idea here para sa side ng Carti Esports on where they might possibly go and try to commit in the long run. And so far, we are seeing some people here nagkakaalaman na or napipinpoint na nila ang posisyon ng isa't isa. But there wasn't necessarily any sort of contact na talagang meron ng natatag, meron ng mga nasusugatan, nakakamot or whatsoever. They're just chilling and they are waiting for the best time to strike.
And the thing about that is, conservative sa paggamit ng util yung Meow. Naka-hold up pa ng mga flashes tong si Dignified. Hindi pa nagamit ng smoke si Fall X. So they have all the util in the world to push up on that B extremity. But Uyin has really good coverage with the util as well. Recon Dart out. Itchy solo with the first frag. Aeonix down. Entry on in has been dealt with. Patrick Watson with the second shot again over to Fall X. That has slowed things down for OSC, but they forced themselves into B anyways.
Oh, unfortunately though, hindi expect ni Owen na marami magagaling doon sa kanilang other side area. But we are gonna see though na napakabilis ng kanilang pag-retake onto this one, knowing that all the advantage are on their side even. At meron pa tayong nangyayaring aggressive squatting. If I may say, in these first aggressive squatting. So, right now though, that is actually a good start for the side of Cardi Esports. And you can see that they are definitely keeping their sights, or rather their positions in check. Regardless of kung ano ang gusto nilang or na-expect nilang i-whip out dito for the side of Sticky Cat, is their will prepared enough in trying to combat that.
Alam mo yun, pansin ko talaga kay Patrick Watson, hindi mo talaga siya may expect on one side of the map eh. He literally is everywhere. He started on A on the first 15 seconds of the round, pagkatapos siya makita si Fall X with the first contact, went on to the B side after that. First shot! What a beautiful collect from Patrick Watson! The Outlaw is in play, and the Jet Duelist from Carti is up and ready.
Grabe! Wait lang, medyo na-warshock ako doon. Pero, still though, heavy mid control lang naman ang gusto nila makuha dito for the side of Qualifiers Esports. Though, they are still gonna get the point here onto Aeonix. But, 2 more remaining people here. Sana man lang meron sila makuha or mapitas dito. Just in hopes na kahit paano madamage ka ng economy somehow. But I feel like that is not entirely possible because now it's just all up to Digny. Kung paano niya nga ba mapiplay ito up to its fullest extent regardless of a 1v5 situation, if I may say, because ang layo ng nararating niya dito, to be honest. At hindi ko alam kung saan siya tutungo.
Part-time pro player, full-time travel vlogger. Si Dignified, mga kaibigan, as he walks into another shot from Patrick Watson. That's 3 kills for the duelist. That's 3 more ult charges para sa Blade Storm ni Patrick Watson mamaya. So not only will he still keep this outlaw for the next coming round, he will build up an economy for an operator into the next one. But this awareness from Patrick Watson, knowing that he still had that outlaw, he has full power into controlling the mid side by himself, not needing supportive util, not needing anything else. A self-sufficient weapon for a self-sufficient duelist para sa second round win ng Carti Esports. 2-0, and Meow have now forced another fall by para sa susunod nating laban. They didn't have the start that they're looking for, but this is their best chance to shine, especially with an A split that Fall X is trying to lead by example.
And also, that is already additional information na walang may balak pumunta ng B-side natin. Might be playing for the default, pero pretty close na mga members natin dito from the side of Meow going into A-side, and they've been able to do that for themselves. Really looking out for the revenge arc onto this one, and even with the guns, kumpleto pa naman sila. And this is going to be a good sign for them. Although may hirapan si Carti Esports na mag-off for the retake.
4-man on site, tapos meron din silang lurker doon sa may short extremity. So all sides covered. Patrick Watson still an anomaly, but well, I don't really see a world where he can actually get 4 just with his outlaw itself. So minimal damage dealt onto OSC. Itchy Solo also opens the door, but with Fall X heavily banking on his aim, a 3K in the mids, a quad para kay Fall X. Definitely something that they're looking for. Yan yung mga rounds na kailangan nilang confidence booster. So, buti na lang bonus round sa kanila. It's a better bonus if they're able to put all their ult orbs on one player, and that is Fall X. Now that means that he's closer and closer to his NDY. That means he is able to entry on with more reliability. Now, ang problema nga lang is he doesn't have that NDY yet. So wala pang ulti si Fall X. He still needs to kill 2 more, possibly get an ult orb if he wants to get that first entry on point. Kapag may first blood, that means he'll be able to fulfill his duelist duties even though he's not on the duelist. So we're back on the A main extremity. early flash out para magkaroon ng early info. Hindi din sila nakapasok dun sa may A main extremity. And you know that Carti Esports is the type of team that is not hesitating to put the pressure on them. So one-way smoke invested, not even needing to fight for that A main control anymore. Just that one smoke is enough for them.
Yeah, and that's true. I really like the idea as well of having like a Viper into just placing the wall dyan and then try to explore any additional options because the opposition won't necessarily expect you to commit into that one. Kasi may clove ka pa na pwedeng mag-smoke kung saan-saan. So that just gives them a lot more freedom into considering other options and try to secure yung mga responsibilities na kailangan gawin ni Paul X dito in order to secure the ultimate, lalong-lalo na that they are really watching for him to become the pseudo duelist of the team.
Hindi ko alam pero may nanonood ba sa likod ni Uyen? Parang comp shop vibes lang no? Kuya, ganitong angle dapat i-hold mo, kuya. Kuya, wag
Kuya,
kang
ganito
aalis
dapat
sa
yan
spot mo. Kuya, dapat ganito yung Sova Dart mo, kuya. Wag kang ganyan. Pero he's
One
still
round
playing
na
with
ako,
the best.
kuya. Ganon.
He is anyway, so dapat kung may backseat may konting flex lang na
Uy!
skills dito sa Paul X. Running again into a short. He's so comfortable with these entries. A double from Paul X. He's just putting up more. This guy's hungry for kills and he just knows that he is the maestro of executing the ace site. It is a 2 versus 4 with Meow again on the advantage.
Okay, and just from that, we have been able to see how Paul X has been able to like secure 4 people in a row, while the rest of the squad just holds the site in every single angle possible down dito sa site natin. And it's just really interesting because you can see like the duality of having Patrick Watson na ganun din mag-play kanina doon sa kalaban nila na 5 monkeys, like literally all the way kung ano ang pwede niyang i-push is ipupush niya. Pretty similar to what Paul X is doing right now. So I am quite curious how this is gonna play out in the long run and what will happen once the mag-swap ang ating sides. But from what we're seeing so far, I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a huge difference in stylistic approaches, diba? Kasi may dash down si Patrick Watson and has been utilizing that para makakuha ng forward space. But for Paul X, all he has been relying on is to hit those duels. And it also helps for them na nabibigay sa kanila yung forward spaces, right? That A-short extremity, definitely a lost cause for the defense. Uyen, though, speaking of forward spaces, he's hungry for something. A headshot possibly found, and he has gotten 1 and 2 for Uyen. I love you. Sheriff shots through from the Sova. And something that they have never expected was the defense proactively taking space for them. But Dizzy and Aeonix trying to make moves for themselves. A double for Aeonix. He is showing his flexing duels for the side of Meow. But Astro's at the right place at the right time. Sheriff shot again to the 2 versus 1. Where Dizzy, he is tasked with taking the helm of clutching up against Carti Esports while he's lurking around the shadows over at that A-short extremity.
But on the bright side though, I feel like alam
30 seconds left.
nila, or there's still this certain disadvantage for the side of Carti Esports considering that they haven't been able to get any rifles as of the moment. Though 20 seconds na lang ang meron dito, I'm not quite sure if he is gonna try and attempt to up for a save. Though, never mind. Try niya na i-commit itong A-site natin and once
10 seconds
again,
left.
wala pang mga baril. Ito mga kumpara natin dito for the side of Carti Esports. So I feel like they're gonna try to gun it down and try to work with what they currently have. And di lang din natin sure kung meron pa silang mga utilities. I feel like yun, meron pa naman nga. Though, with the Sheriff, I feel like this can be some sort of disadvantage, not unless na ma-separate sila. And it seems like that's going to be a good round here for the side of Carti Esports, regardless of the differentials in terms of the guns.
Yeah, I mean, Astro took the first 10 seconds of that retake para makuha yung isa mga guns, drop down over to that A-short extremity. So it's either they're thinking about double peeking on with only 1 gun in hand for one of these guys, but nevertheless, it's still a beautiful impact from Uyen just taking that risk. You don't really have anything to lose kapag ka eco round ka. He took that initiative to push and for himself, and he didn't have that much support. Walang nagtatrade para sa kanya. Ang kinailangan lang niya ay yung sarili niyang sheriff doon sa pag-push on that A-short extremity. So great sign na yung individuals are stepping up for Carti Esports, especially with that buy round for the OSC squad. Na eco ang kanilang attacking side. So they have to fall back into their winning ways. Patrick Watson does not hesitate anymore. He pushes to Owen QT and counters the lurk all the way from that A main, while Full X is also taking his chances.
Digny, though, seems like he has been able to avenge his lost comrade. And we got a 4v4 happening right now. We are yet to see kung magko-commit nga ba sila agad dito sa A site natin, wherein tons of the members here for the side of Carti is already here. Nag-aabang na lang ng mabuti o maigi, pero Astro is gonna be taken down by Polex onto this one. Uyen's trying to hold the fort down, getting the 3K for himself, and as well as Shy Boy dealing the final blow, which is definitely a good run once again for the side of Carti Esports, and it seems like they're trying to amp things up. And for the side of Meow, however, it seems like they're gonna force themselves regardless of the half shields na meron sila.
Ayun yung version ng kung paano nila kina-counter yung A-Short Extremity, no? It's not in a way that they put their numbers over at A-Short. It's in getting that early info, but not fully investing into it, right? Kasi there's still the possibility of a split up. So they had a 50-50 chance of either holding down that A-Short Extremity or focus their eyes and ways over to that A main side. At buti na lang, Uyen was able to isolate the fights anyway, because that means that Fall X and his forward position on A-Short had no value whatsoever. 4-2 now para sa Carti Esports. 2-round lead in itself. Forward space being dealt with again. And this time they put Chandy Boy on that position sa A-Short Extremity, where Fall X has been spamming that sort of position time and time again sa entry niya. If only that's the only thing that they can hope for. Trying to take Fall X out of the equation. They spot na to si Ichi solo. They're trying to spam through the shots doon sa may mid-bottom because they have an inkling na baka may tao naglalason sa loob ng mid-bottom na yun. And they even smoke off yung A-Short, so that tells me that they might have to fight. Flash out in. The peek out as well from Patrick Watson signals the fight coming in towards that mid-bottom side. But the one shot from Fall X, a second from the young duelist player on OSC. And even though they took down 2, they still have a lot of time to consider where they want to come from, especially with Aeonic spotted. They have an inkling that P-Site might be the extremity for the attack.
That's quite unfortunate. I mean, we can see the glimpse of panic na meron dito for the side of Carti Esports at that moment doon sa mid kanina. But it seems like this is going to be a good opportunity for the side of Meow to push forward. Lalo na that every single one of them is meron talaga nagko-contribute in doing and securing the objectives. Astro will be left alone, and it's already up to him kung paano niya ma-handle ang apat na naiiwan dito, or would he resort to up for a save. But I guess he's not gonna get one more step into the site, as Dizzy will be able to take him down, and I guess that's another down for them.
Yep. So they also have an ultimate that they can also play around with because of the 2 kills that Dizzy has picked up for himself. And that Rolling Thunder is going to be everything, since Fall X needs utility para ma-supply niya yung sarili niya to push on into these A-Shorts, into these B-mid extremities. At fun fact mga kaibigan, alam niyo ba na Crossfire Pro na din si Paul X on top of him being a Valorant Pro as well? That just tells you that this guy has a lot of talent. Whether it's on Valorant or not, you can see that there's also a lot of benefits on playing both FPSs. That confidence keeps building up on both esports titles. That it's kind of translating into Fall X's play. His confidence is on a high, and every time that he tries to take these aim duels, it's almost like he's playing in a different world.
Hindi lang master of 1, no? Master of 2 na siya. Because that's how much skill he's been able to accumulate all throughout the time given onto him. And right now, he is right in front of us, trying to perform at the top of his game. All the while, they are really taking this really slowly, no? Their pace is literally kahit papano, literally. And we can see that somehow they're still trying to secure every single objective, thinking it through, ano nga ba yung pinaka-safest na option na pwede nilang gawin, but Ichi solo, nakakarinig, nakakaramdam, meron ng idea kung nasaan sila, and they are committing onto B-side as of the moment. Rolling Thunder, merong nakikita, but he's gonna be gunned down at the best time possible. Patrick Watson, buhay pa rin hanggang ngayon, para siyang si Gago Dalisay, and it's already a 3v2, and we are yet to see if it is going to be a possible thing here for Astro to fight up against the two remaining members after this one, as he manage to make it a 1v1. Dizzy, naiiwan na lang sa both side natin. And we are yet to witness kung mapuput niya nga ba ang spike down. I guess not. And that is going to be a good clutch here onto Astro.
That's a huge error. Unfortunate para sa pag-push ng OSC because they have the side anyways for themselves kasi nakapagpasok na sila. They really needed to think about that stairs position. But also check here itong si Uyen rotating on that side. Kaso ang problema is Dizzy was using his Rolling Thunder while Polex was in front of it. Hindi tuloy napatay yung nasa loob ng botas na mabilisan. Bought enough time para makapag-convert tong si Astro. Unfortunate para sa OSC because the chemistry that they've been building up has slowly been having growing pains as of late. Sana lang makapag-reset sila agad because Party Esports are taking full advantage every single time. Great positioning on backside. And Patrick Watson getting to there was just absolute criminal. Talagang high impact frags ang nakukuha. Kasi nakakapasok pa rin yung mga impactful players dito for Carti. Kailangan maging careful si Uyen dito. Naririnig na yung dalawa. He gets one. Patrick Watson falling to his ground. 5v3. A-main lockdown as well. At hindi sila makapasok dahil dito sa aggressive A-main setup. While X tries to put his name on the kill feed. Gets one. But Uyen, yet again, with his judge, makes huge impact doon sa 4 versus 2.
Bro, grabe yung kaba ko doon. The moment nakita ko na umakyat na yung isa, tapos hindi na pa rin alam na may judge sa ilalim. That's just crazy to me. Parang at least it is already a 2v4 here, wherein Carti Esports is getting the hang of this specific round at present. Ichi Solo will be detecting some presence here dito sa B-main natin, pero parang wala silang choice kung di mag-push forward given the situation that they are in. Pero isang bala lang sa ulo ang makukuha ni Ionix dito as Dizzy is left alone, securing one but not entirely enough to push forward. So ito na ang kalamangan na meron sa side ng Carti Esports, and they are really calm and collected so far.
Ganda talaga ng mga anti-strats na nakikita natin, no? Just fully utilizing the fact that OSC have been giving the forward spaces up, not making any proactive decisions to take aim main very fast on. And remember, that was also the buy round as well for OSC. So as they already got knocked down doon sa pag-control ng aim main, the lion's share of their economy has been dealt with, struck down, cut down because of the proactive defense by Carti. The judge in hand for the defense was just full value dahil doon sa forward space on A main. So now they give up yung short extremity because they know they have the better guns anyway. Folex is again becoming one of the leaders ng pag-push every single time, even though he doesn't have the duelist role. He isn't an agent that can thrive, especially when he gets the momentum going. Nag-push na agad tong si Owen Cutie sa A main, and thanks to the smoke, not really giving info papunta dito sa Carti Esports. Folex gets spotted, but Dickney gets the shot that they needed. Astro down, no smoke. Patrick Watson on an island until Chandy Boy is here to support against the 5 people that OSC are investing into. Patrick Watson dashes out after killing Dignified, but Owen Cutie and Folex have the site on notice.
Oh, that's unfortunate. There's a limited space that they have, but they're trying to gun it down, amp up the speed, and try to handle the pressure that they're currently facing here. The Uyan was left alone and receiving tons of damage from the decay. And all it takes is just one bullet dito galing kay Fall X. And from what we have witnessed here, we did not entirely expected that they're gonna get that one, because nakita naman din natin na they're just handling the shares, but eventually, because of how they were able to play with each other, which is definitely something that you must do in a Nico round, is na-manage naman nila kahit papano na patumbahin yung mga natitirang mga miyembro dito from the side of Carti Esports. And right now, it seems like they're just 2 more rounds away para ma-equalize natin yung mga puntos.
I guess they calm down yung paggamit ng neutrals, right? And playing off of the strength of his team composition, which is a strong contact play, not making any noise, not making any presence, para ma-punish yung mga open spaces ng Carti Esports, which now they're switching it up. 1-3-1 setup. The defense are looking to take a very surprising tactic try to surprise at least a lurker, anybody that they can have dun sa attacking. Kaso Meow have gotten themselves yung aim in extremity, but at least they got themselves a kill dun kay Aeonix, who was lurking around that 8 top position. Early Viper split invested by Owen Cutie, as Meow have gotten full control of the site, but they don't know that they're about to get sandwiched all across every single entrances. Fall X gets a double, pushing on Heaven. The aggressive stance for Fall X has always been their fallback, and it's working impeccably, but they need to watch the flank. Triple kill for Fall X. The lion's share of the kills has been invested by the young player on OSC. NDY, after a frag, a huge flank from Ichi Solo, forcing out this Viper spit to still be invested. A second from Ichi Solo. They found out where Folex has been coming from, so now they have to find Owen Cutie, but they also have to defuse the spike. Owen does not connect with that half, and Owen Cutie delivers with the 5th round. OSC locked down that A site.
Dude, you know what? I am so happy that I am just watching that entire round, because you can see that regardless of the members of Predator Esports trying to like corner them in some sort of way, considering na meron tayong 2-man flank coming up on their end, Fall X had the initiative to try and push forward and do the unexpected, which is to get a couple of members here for the side of Predator Esports para man kahit papano they have more additional space to work into, and boy did it work wonders. Really well played for Fall X and the rest of the squad into, you know, securing that round for themselves, because that just means that they are hyper aware and even been able to put out a high level play at that instant. But now it seems like everything's in on the stage right now. Nasa kanila paano nila ma-work ito, because they're just trying to push forward regardless of the circumstances, not preventing anyone, because tatlo na agad yung kanilang napitas dito just by entering the A side. And I wonder, paano ito i-handle ni Uyen and as well as ni Ichi Solo?
Natawa ako kasi nung pumasok tong si Fall X, pasarado na yung pinto, but he decided to limbo himself inside A.
Tuloy pa rin, no?
Talagang walang takot si Fall X eh. Kahit wala siyang dash, kahit wala siyang kahit anong mobility, ay okay na sa kanya yung pumasok with full contact itself. Ichi Solo lurking around the shadows yet again, trying to wait for his contact. Uyen already has his hands on the defuse, but it's dealt with. Another for Ichi Solo. Suddenly falls apart for OSC. 1v2. Owen Cutie gets found out as well. And yet again, Uyen on the judge has worked wonders for Predator Esports and the retake. 7-5 for a very surprising first half for Predator Esports.
Switching sides.
True, and not gonna lie, tinititigan kong mabuti si Ichi Solo kasi malay mo, gusto nilang sumagot ng aggressive swatting. Pero hindi naman nila ginawa. So they're just chilling on to this one, and it seems like they've got the advantage heading towards our second half, which is definitely something that we have to look out for, lalong-lalo na that the sides has been swapped, and we are still waiting to see kung ano ang talim na ipinakita sa atin kanina ni Patrick Watson heading onto this current final. So we are yet to see what is going to be the change of paces here, as the demeanor and as well as the adjustments na mangyayari, considering that interesting ang lineup natin for the side of OSC.
And you could argue that their team composition is also built for attack sana, kasi ang dami nilang utility na pwedeng i-dump when they're on the executes, right? But it's gonna be a huge question mark on how they perform the team composition that they have right now, because they're not really built for holding one side of the map. They're built on taking the forward spaces and supporting Volex in every single time. So we'll have to wait and see kung kayang makapasok, kayang makalaban sa mga napaka-slow defaults ng Predator Esports. That's the thing about the Ascent map, eh, no? Talagang very prevalent yung mga slow defaults, lalo na kapag pistol round. That sinart na agad ito ng Predator Esports with little known presence doon pa lang sa may A main.
And I also admire their positioning here, no? Like heavy mid defense present here for the side of OSC, because I feel like they really want to prevent yung entry nila dito for the counterpart to do some fancy moves. But unfortunately for Ichi Solo though, he's gonna be detected right then and there, and just means additional gun, and may hirapan sila na mag-entry dito or the possibility of a difficult entry, as I may say for myself. Lalo-lalo na, tons of utilities are scattered here. Siyempre, pabor para sa side ng OSC. They've got 10 seconds left, and it seems like they've got some time for themselves naman, but will this actually work for them to put the site down? Dahil ngayon, nababawasan na sila.
Ooh, nababasag pa nga, Chani Boy. He's trying to lurk through. Double kill for the guy, but he's the only guy alone. Napatay na ang bawat isa para sa Carti Esports. That was a ballsy push shot as well. Kasi nung tinatry na lang i-split up yung mga miyembro ng OSC, talagang they were all focused on that one side, which was on that A-short side. All came down to the gunfights as well, but talagang na-whittled down na agad thanks to the patience displayed by Onyx and Dignified. A lot of heroics dealt on too by Chani Boy, and we already see him do a lot of big plays on these big moments, but when it came down to the numbers, definitely favored OSC at that point in time. 21 kills for Fall X. A lot of support given to him, especially from that kill on Dichi Solo when he was attempting to lurk around that mid-bottom, but kawawa talaga yung kahit sino magpo-push sa tatlong to. Kita mo, naghihintay lang sila ng contact dun sa mid, tapos na-stun na nga, na-blind pa nga, tas pinupushan ka pa ng isang glove.
Dude, I don't even know ano pang defense ang kakailanganin mo. And even for retics, like, tayo na rin na nagsabi, they're really rich in utilities here. So if ever man na matimingan nila, kanilang paglabas ng mga utilities nila, automatic may mabubura sa kalaban nila. And this time though, we are gonna see if there is going to be a good thing or may mga mabibitas or even secure around itong side ng Carti Esports, lalong-lalo na they are at a disadvantage. Pero nako, tamang pwesto lang sa crosshair ni Dignito mga to, as we see tons of members falling down on the side of Carti Esports team getting stuck and cornered at the main. And we have been able to see that these guys are just definitely trying to equalize everything and possibly get a hold of this entire match if possible. Lalo-lalo na medyo nasira ata ang naging momentum dito for the side of Carti.
Yeah, but we shouldn't forget naman na yun naman yung kanilang bonus round. So the conversion is still there. And it kind of puts into a question kung ano ba talaga yung nagiging strength ng team comp na to. Kasi nung una sinabi ko that this team composition is built around supporting only one player, and that's Fall X, right? But I think I underestimated the power of the stopping power for the side of OSC kasi meron na nga stun tapos meron pa nga magagamit na smoke, and well, ano pa ba yung pwede nilang gamitin dito? Just Dignified. He's an aim machine who is built on utility usage as well. So, and more than enough para ma-stall yung B site. However, on A, Carti Esports are looking to bounce back, redeem themselves from that failed attempt at taking the extremity. Now they got free A site control. Well, they also are waiting for the retake scenario. The Killjoys are also lurking around each other. That mid side is looking as deadly as ever, as Aeonix has gotten the perfect timing with Fall X trying to push in on that heaven position. 1-for-1 trade with Chani Boy locking down that heaven side. Uy, and trying to spray on a double from Dizzy. And the 2 versus 1 has not been given a chance as Astro has walked into a very controlled OSC on A site, giving Dignified another orb. But that was a chaotic round in itself, thanks to a lot of utility being given by Dignified and Dizzy FPS.
And that's also like crazy game sense coming from Aeonix as well, no? Like, I can remember seeing them just pinging that corner the moment na natapos yung round na yun at nanalo sila. I feel like they really didn't expect someone to be there, but they've got the gut feeling eh. So I feel like that really matters the most here is the game sense presence then on their end. And I feel like it's just really evident that they're trying to surge up forward here. And once again, mag-resort na naman si Eco around itong mga members natin for the side of Carti Esports. And it's just really interesting to see the push and pull coming up between the two teams because we can witness their weakness and as well as their strengths as well. And so far, it cancels everything out. But now Digny going for 2 kills here at A main. While the rest of the squad will try to push forward para naman kahit paano merong magiging return ang dalawang nawalang miyembro sa kanilang side. So, the plan is being commenced here as we see Uyen try to fight it off. Unfortunately, though, he's gonna be eliminated until two more members remain, and 1-0. And just like that, that's another additional round here for the side of Meow.
That's the thing about Meow, right? They find one person to play around on one half. It was X on that attacking half. Now Dignified is looking to take his own initiative, taking the forward space, using the utility of his teammates and his own para magkaroon na napakagandang play katulad ng ganito. Just early cloud burst and using his utility against the opponents. Talagang flashing out that B main side, taking that forward space to get the numbers advantage. Ituloy naka-convert, especially if you remember, a few of them only had the sheriffs in hand, so nothing to behold, nothing to report at that time. OSC forcing agad yung opponents nilang Carti to take the timeout this time around, and definitely a justified call since wala pang reset agad yung Carti Esports. I do have to note that Patrick Watson is still on one today. 17 kills for the guy, and you'd know that he's still performing his duties as the duelist. He's still entering on. He's still trying to be the guy who's the first contact for every single attempt that Carti Esports are doing, right? Pero may difference kasi sa execution ngayon ng OSC, right? Now they're looking pretty gelled up. Ngayon parang komportable na sila na kumuha ng mga initiative sa lahat ng mga plays sila. Kita mo si Dignified, lagi na siyang nakakapag dry peek on, and sometimes when he is peeking, he's using his own utility because that's the thing about the Sky.
And the thing here is the Sky, or the type of Sky you wouldn't want to come across on, most especially that he knows that the abilities na meron siya is well sufficient on how he can get the kills by himself. Like, di kailangan na may kasama. As long as he got himself and as well as the utilities, he can get the job or get the dirty work done. And so far though, ganda lineup, may madedetect. And we are yet to see kung ano nga ba ang sinabi sa kanila ni Boss AKG. Like, ano nga bang plano natin dito, Coach? Kasi medyo nagkakaroon tayong discrepancies from the last few rounds that we have, and it seems like they're gonna go into like a unanimous approach here onto A side, and we just hope that it will actually work onto this one, considering the ultimate and no command has already been pulled out.
Yep, napasok na din si Patrick Watson, and he's noted the Heaven player, but not Patrick Watson inside of the site. Astro's taking care of itong si VALORANT. A double for Dignified. He was hiding inside, but it's not gonna be enough. Carti Esports have dealt with the situation thanks to gunplay all across the A site itself. Aeonix, the only man alive, and the only man to get dealt with as well. A shot flashes everything to push onto the kitchen sink. Yes, may util ang OSC, pero habang buhay pa sila, may flashes, may recon dart, may Aeonix na pwedeng kumuha ng dalawa, but Channy Boy is here to stay and here to play 8 rounds for Carti Esports as they slowly build back up habang humahabol sila sa OSC with the 8th round win.
Bro, too much for a miracle na daw doon kung sakali mo na maka-4K si Uric at that instant. Pero at least, diba, he has been able to get a couple from them. Definitely it will affect them. Slight lang naman kasi yung isa sa kanila possibly, or rather some of them will be resorting to have shields, but I feel like that is not necessarily a disadvantage after all, considering that they really revolve around the taps from both sides present, but they might try and attempt to go and offer the mid control onto this one, and medyo nag-iba na yung approach dito ng Meow. Kung kanina tata sila sa mid, we have a couple of them just staying onto A main, and I feel like they already got an idea kung nasan yung mga kumpare natin from the side of Carti, and they better have to act and have a plan quick.
That's new NDY. This FPS has full contact on mid and all the utility in the world para ma-delay yung pag-push nila all across that mid-market position. Spotted another for Aeonix. This guy is on one and he is going on for more. A double for Aeonix, and X falls to the ground kasi wala siyang nakuwang takedown with the NDY, but it does not matter because Meow have full control on B. They leave it all to Uyen, and he doesn't love the situation at all. He's alone with the spike on B main. He can't go out to B lobby kasi makakalaban niya si Dignified, who's also hitting shots. But he can't also attempt to try to get themselves the B main extremity. Is passing si Aeonix. He gets a spray transfer kay Dizzy as well. He has an ample amount of time para ma-plant yung spike dito. Late nga din tong si Dignified. Pero dalawa ang magiging kalaban ni Uyen sa 2 versus 1 clutch attempt. Falls back on backside. May util pa si Dignified. Gets concussed thanks to the Trailblazer but has enough cover para ma-reposition yung sarili niya. It's the lineup attempt for Miao that works out because of the high-low setup thanks to Owen QT's calling. 10th round for OSC as they bounce back after the loss in the previous round from Qualifiers Esports.
And that is so well executed. Like the high-low setup, how they've been able to shower them with tons of utilities without any care about the world. Like, they are certain, you know what, marami na tayo utilities. Though, as much as possible, they're still trying to spend it to the best way they can. But once again, parang hindi magiging problema sa kanila na mawalan ng utilities, most especially in doing those types of retakes, lalong-lalo na nahitek sila in those types of stuff. So, right now though, may mapipilitan na mag-up for an eco. I mean, some of them, and they'll be forcing to up for a broken buy. As of the moment, we're just gonna wait and see if Carti would be able to get some frags from here and there. Hopefully, para naman maging mas solido at pulido ang kanilang mga pushes here. Possibly sa B site.
Yep, and they're primed up for the take as well. Patrick Watson, look at his positioning. He is hungry to take this B main extremity. And remember the last time that they're waiting for the spike to be transported on the other side of the map? Parang na-traumatay sila sa nangyari yun. Kaya nahinita na si Astro. Tarkles are locked on, invested as well. So this B site, definitely well done and dusted to take para kay Patrick Watson as he's pushing without hesitation anymore. There's every corner. Already scrubs off any trace of OSC in B. Already the 5 versus 5 retake in hand. But remember, may lockdown din si Ionic. So they can play around that info as well. But look at the setup as well. Meron dalawa sa B main at meron pa silang Hunter's Fury. Share of shots yet again for Chatty Boy. They try to retake on and Fall X leads by example. First blood given up to OSC. And they're still walking on down towards that lane position with 3 people on top. OSC with another as they barrage all the kills. In fact, leaving out to Uyen. The 1v4. Util in hand. Ultimate did not work out as well. So they got the full defuse in check. At magsa-save na lamang si Uyen for the 8th round. So 11 para sa Miao. Unfortunately, their setup did not work out at all thanks to Fall X.
My, this guy knows. Kanina pa, every single round, he knows what to pull out. And all the while, kanina, it seems like the tides has been turned to the favor of Miao. Lalong-lalo na that they're just one more round away from the match point, and they are well aware of what they should do next, regardless of the 5v5 retake. And they've been able to just walk through that, no sweat. Blaze Storm natin already available here for Patrick Watson has been whipped out on his hand, and so far they're gonna try to make their way here. Yun nga lang, mapapalay siya ni Tinty. Though, still in favor pa rin sa kanila. Despite the disparity in terms of utilities, it's still somehow they made it work out considering na pinagsali puwersang lakas naman ang meron dito for the side of Miao. Though, Ichi Solo, I wonder, paano niya nga ba mapaplay ito?
Kapag nanalo si Ichisoro sa 1v3 na to, mandi libre ng battle pass si Mochi. Sinasabi ko na sa inyo mga kaibigan. If he can work the chef shots 1v3, touches on heaven, but one shot from Dignified was more than enough for him. So walang battle pass, walang panalo ang Qualifiers Esports round na ito. It's a match point para sa OSC. One more round to qualify for the playoffs. And yet again, it's the impact from this one smoke from Paul X sa loob ng site kasi ginagamit ito either as cover for Dignified to use para makapag-reposition siya or a way para makapag-flash out sila dito eh. Remember, they have util dumps all around. And since may aim si Dignified, he could just catch them off guard after that one guiding light.
Yeah, and also we are yet to witness if there is some sort of commitment here from the side of Carti because someone's gonna come from the mid area, and that is a Onyx as well as Dizzy, who has been able to get 3 of them already, and they're not backing down. They know that the side is on their side and everything in control. And before we even know it, they will try to push forward, creep into them unknowingly. And despite of the efforts existing, it seems like hindi yon magiging enough. And the kings for this specific qualifiers will be our members from the old Stinky Cat.
Yep. And it's almost like it was slated for them from the very beginning. Qualifiers Esports have given us a show. They have proven that they can contend against the best of the best, since they're also one of the best teams in the PH right now. But old Stinky Cat had gotten it in the bag from the very start of that second half. Congratulations nga pala para sa kanila. They have proven that they can contend against anybody from the bracket, and against all odds, they have shown how well and talented yung mga players natin from OSC. We'll see them sa ating playoffs ng Predator Esports Circuit. But what a hell of a way to do it as well. Another ascent map, another banger in the mids. At kitang-kita yung impact ng mga players natin, especially from the side of OSC. But let's give props for Qualifiers Esports as well, kasi they also showed a lot of their true colors pagdating dito sa ating attacking side.
Yeah, and not only that though, we can see then at the first few moments of this match, sobrang ganda ang nakuha ng advantage dito ng Qualifiers Esports eh. But it's just that mas kinigatan ng Meow kung yung pwede nilang gawin dito, and maybe that's because of the time they spent with each other as well. Like, kakabuo lang naman din ito ng side ng Qualifiers Esports like almost a month ago, but all the while Meow's been there for like a couple of splits already, and this just means that they've got more experience together, they've got more synergy, but at the same time, this can actually be a really good stepping stone for the side of Qualifiers Esports para mag-improve further, lalong-lalo na we are seeing na sobrang ganda na rin ang mga individual capabilities ng mga members natin, simula pa lang kay Uyen, kay Astro, yung mga utility usage ni Ichistolo as well as si Charlie Boy. It's already up to how can they work better, or how can they work harmoniously with each other. So this is going to be a really good match for them, for their side, regardless of losing. And I hope we can see more of them in the next qualifier.
I mean, hindi pa naman tapos ang Predator Esports Circuit, mga kaibigan. So malay mo, magiging strong contender ang Qualifiers Esports, lalo na sa pinakita nila ngayon. And Patrick Watson, a talent that we've been talking about time and time again, has shown us value all throughout, especially on the defensive side. You remember yung collateral na gamit sa Outlaw, and a lot of situations where Uyen is also getting a lot of collaterals as well, especially with how well he has been holding up sites, right? So there's potential dito for Qualifiers Esports, possibly in the next qualifier, possibly next week, possibly in VCT as well, since they're also making their own noise under the Qualifiers World banner. Pero mga kaibigan, papakita ko sa inyo kung ano yung naging resulta sa buong bracket natin. Old Stinky Cat all throughout has shown a lot of potential into moving very far dito sa playoffs pa lang ng Predator Esports Circuit. They have failed a lot of their attempts nung nasa Kings of PH pa lang, but now it's a full reset for the team. Baka eto na nga ang kanilang chance para makuha nila ang Predator Sword.
Yeah, that is so true. Paano yung pakita, pre? Sabi mo papakita mo yung bracket. Paano yung pakita?
Papakita, yun. Pinakita ko na eh. Tapos na eh.
Dito po reaction.
Yung next time na makita yung bracket, may bayad na siya. At yung
may talent fee. May talent fee pala.
Compensation?
Pero, grabe guys, sobrang tindi din mga naging laban natin ngayon. And nakita din natin na it's quite a close match. I mean, hindi naman double digit on both sides, but still, regardless of the 13-8 na scoreline natin in this match, it is really prevalent. It's really great yung mga push and pulls nila doon sa mga specific rounds na yan. And it's an understatement of the efforts that gone into this match, specifically in between OEC and as well as CE. So, once again, congratulations for both teams regardless, and I hope we can see more of them in the next qualifiers and the playoffs.
Yeah. And yung pinaka headline natin dito, mga kaibigan, is Old Stinky Cat moving on into the playoffs. So this is not going to be the last that we'll see of them Especially since ang dami pang opportunity na maipakita yung talent nila all the way to the playoffs. And well, mga kaibigan, speaking of the playoffs, we are on the road to the Predator League Philippine Qualifiers. And this tournament, the Predator Esports Circuit, has only been a tool for this. Gear up for the ultimate esports showdown. Compete, dominate, and represent in the Predator League Philippine Qualifiers for Valorant and Dota 2, happening from September to November. So eto yung chance nyo para makapag-shine at maipakita ang talento ng Pinoy. Stay connected and get the latest updates on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more. Kasi ready na kayo makapag-shot the mark? Well, now is your chance to prove it. Mga kaibigan, it has been a blast to cast yung second week ng Predator Esports Circuit. And next week, it's gonna be an even bigger banger. My name is Ramon. With me is Mochi. We'll see you next week for the Predator Esports Circuit.
One enemy remaining. Planted. Enemy remaining. Remaining. Last player standing.
Powers out. Oh, powers out. Oh, back like I never left.
Flash out!
Last player standing.
Sleep, brother.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Spike down.
No.
Spike. One enemy remaining.